For today's review, we're going to take a look at the Amplified Mobility Platform, or the AMP suit from the Avatar movie. This is the new release of the AMP suit by Mcfarlane Toys for 2022. So this is how the figure looks in packaging. This is an Amazon.com purchase, and out of the Amazon box, I discovered that I have a rip on the packaging material, but so far I've checked the components of my purchase and nothing seems to be lost or broken so far. So let's take this figure out of packaging and let's take a look at the details, articulation, and accessories. Let's examine the contents of our purchase. So we have the AMP suit. All of the components are intact. As for accessories, we have the main gun, we have the chain link of ammunition or the ammo belt, we have the knife, and that is located just underneath the AMP suit, and we also have an alternate left hand. So because the figure already comes with a hand that's supposed to be a grabbing hand for the knife that is included. So far nothing is missing on this purchase, but right out of the box you have to really contend with a lot of packaging material to get this guy out of its cage. So let's do a visual 360 of the base figure without any of the accessories that is associated with it. No weapons, no extra hands, and no knife attached, just the base figure. So as for total height of the figure, from the very top of the shoulders, that is around the 9-inch plus mark, but below 10 inches. So since we don't have any head unit, automatically the torso is the head and the body of this AMP suit. So don't expect to have articulation points like a diaphragm cut or a articulation point that would allow the cockpit area to bend forwards or to bend backwards. It does not have that function. It's just going to be a rotation of the waistline 360 degrees. So you could move the cockpit area to the left, to the right, and every time you move the cockpit area, you're going to hear the click, click, click sound because that is on a ratchet system. So let's move towards the leg area. So as for the leg, it's easier discussed this way. On the hip, that is a ball joint, so you could possibly there's a certain allowable degree of moving the entire leg, and that is not on a ratchet system. It is just a ball joint. So you could move the leg forwards, move the leg backwards, because we don't have any form of impediment on the design. The elbow, the knee I mean, is a single point of bend, and that is also a ratchet system. The foot, we don't have a rocker system for the foot. It's just going to be a hinge. So hinge that would move the foot on forward and backwards. Okay, so the most articulated area on this AMP suit is actually on the arms, particularly the shoulder blades. So let's start with the easiest first. So for the hands, don't expect to have really nice articulation. It's just going to be rotation of the hands. So the handsets that are on this figure, the right hand is designed to hold on to the weapon. The left hand is designed to hold on to the knife that is included with this set, I mean. Now, moving upwards, we have just a single articulation point for the elbow, and that is also a ratchet system. So for movement of the entire forearm, we have rotation on this area here, which allows you to rotate the forearm 360 degrees. Don't expect to have a cut on the bicep for rotation of the bicep. As you could see, that is just one single molded piece. So rotation of the forearm, that is the pivoting point for holding accessories or posing this figure. Okay, let's move towards the ball. So I'm going to place the figure this way. So we have a butterfly system, a very articulated one, which allows for movement of the entire arm unit backwards that way or forwards this way. So I did not move this other arm, so you could take note as to how many degrees you could move this butterfly system. So for the arms area, since that is on a roller type system, roller ratchet type system, whenever you try to move the arm on a T pose, it's going to somehow lift it off from this rail system. So you gotta hold on to the arm unit on this section where I am gripping the entire arm and move the ball of the arm for a T pose. So once again, demonstrate, hold on to this unit over here, the mass of the arm, and start rotating or move the arms in a T pose. If you want to rotate the arms too, so as to not stress this area over here or this area, that is going to be the stress area on this figure. So just hold on to this mass or block unit on this section and rotate or lift the entire arm. So that's the same thing that you're going to do in case you want to put on the weapons of this figure or possibly do really photographic poses for this figure. So this is a 2-inch blade. So from the tip of the blade to the edge of the handle, that's 2 inches. So that is the detail on the knife of this AMP suit. And if you place this on the left hand, actually the left hand really grips this accessory very well. So let's take a look at the main weapon system of this AMP suit. So we have the bayonet, and we have a serrated edge on the bayonet. So this is actually the left side or operator's side. And we have the ammunition belt or chain link attached to the main weapon system. So as for total length, that is a 6-inch weapon system. So the material is really made of substantial plastic. It's quite of good mass, but right out of packaging, as you could see, it is at an odd angle, so you could still hit this and straighten the barrel out. The muzzle device, we have ports on the left and on the right, but we don't have a hole on the barrel. But that is possible. You just apply your drill at home and make a hole on this section of the muzzle device. Now we have some sort of aiming system for the weapon. So possible visible and non-visible laser, or all, and maybe a camera included too. So there you go. So feeding and extraction of spent cartridges. So you have the main gripping component and the assistive component. So let's discuss details on this AMP suit. So we have a number for the unit, that's 11, and we also have pilot designation. So we have the name of the kernel etched to the right lower side of the cockpit. The ammunition link or ammo link is going to attach, the other end is going to attach on this area or that slot over here. So this is the details on the back of the figure, and since this unit does not have a head for a camera system that would move 360 degrees, the torso is actually the cockpit and at the same time the command and control system. We have an opening on this side for visual backfield view, and as you could see, we still have an additional face mask or oxygen mask at the back of the pilot's chair. So the cockpit also opens for us to really take a look at a lot of the details on the cockpit area. So let's do so. So opening this cockpit area, there is a notch on this side. So that is finger friendly. Just place your finger on that side to lift the cockpit open. And let's take a look at the details of the cockpit area. So let's provide as much light or throw as much light that we could on this section. So we have controls and we have a standing position for the pilot of this AMP suit. So we have a heads-up display, and as for controls, there's really not much of a joystick or a thrust control system on this unit, because majority of the controls is going to be the things that they put on the forearms of the pilot for action poses of or mobility purpose of this AMP suit. So the kernel Quaritch figure that actually you need to purchase for this AMP suit still retails at the $24 mark. And I don't feel comfortable with that price point, because I know I could already purchase a Mcfarlane DC Multiverse action figure, which is 7 inches, compared to that kernel Quaritch, which is just a 3.25 inch figure with little accessories on board. This figure, no matter what I do, it just won't fit inside unless I take off the foot on this action figure. I think it's going to fit in, but I cannot play with this action figure if I take out the foot, because if you want to do some toy photography wherein you want the pilot off the AMP suit, then you have to hit a cup of boiling water just to install the fit. So does not make sense. And the only pilot that I have on hand that could really fit this AMP suit is this Marvel Legends Punisher figure, which is exactly 3.25 inch. So just jam this guy in there and you're going to have a really good time. We now have a weaponized AMP suit with a pilot and a action pose of a firing stance. So for size comparison purpose, we have the Halo 4 Wicked Cool Toy Mantis with the Mcfarlane Toys Avatar AMP suit. So this is how the AMP suit matches with the Halo 4 Warthog vehicle set. But I guess the best four-wheeled match for this AMP suit is going to be this Elite Force up-armored Humvee. And finally, if you are a Marvel Legends collector and you just wish to purchase this AMP suit because it really looks cool without any association with the other Avatar figures, then this is how the biggest figures from Marvel Legends that I have in my collection would scale with this AMP suit. So we have the Marvel Legends Hulk and we have the Hulkbuster suit. So this ends my review for this AMP suit. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next figure or action figure review.